Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Zeik from Brio. I'm hanging out with Rob from Front Row Live here in Los Angeles at the Belasco Theater. Much love.
Zeik, you're on tour right now promoting the sophomore album, Explore, another masterpiece that you guys have created. Take me into the studio with this album and like, what was so different about this compared to Paradise back in 2016?
Just what the energy was coming with for this album was a whole lot different. We had like toured the world maybe like 2 or 3 times and seen a lot of different acts and had a lot of different world experiences that really kind of like inspired to me and us as a whole to like how can we propel that energy, you know, from all those shows that we've seen. Like how can we add more fuel to the fire and added more songs that feel fun, that feel just like carefree kind of in a way, but also still like some songs on the record like Royal Rage or USM, for example, still touch on some political matters, but it's really just like a more like a modern contemporary approach at a great time.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it like for you, like creating music that is somewhat political in a way for those 2 specific songs? Like, does it feel more challenging to you to open up about politics in your music?
No, I don't really look at it as politics. I just look at it as like the voice, like being the voice of humanity in a way. Like it's really just I mean, labels are, you know, I don't really like labels so much, but truth is truth, and it was a way that I felt at the time, it was a way that we felt at the time, and a way some other people felt at the time for some of those songs. So it's really just articulation of a personal experience, and you know, it gets categorized as political. We're not a political band at all. We don't aim to be as well, but we do want to keep it real.
Right. Now, tell me a little bit about, you know, there's 7 members in the band, and one thing that caught my attention was when I saw you guys live was that like all 7 members have a crazy amount of energy on stage. There's no one person left behind. So, you know, what's that like with you guys when you guys come together in the studio? Is there too many chefs in the kitchen?
No, I wouldn't say like that. I think we all it's all intentional. Even on stage, we all have our moments and spaces where we work with the dynamics in a balanced way. As far as the studio or creative experience, how it comes together is just we all bring in, you know, songs at different parts of the development. It would be a skeleton of an idea. We kind of, sometimes they're fully developed, sometimes they're halfway developed, but we all kind of chip away at, you know, ways we can contribute, and it's just we keep the space light as far as like creativity and ideas and what serves the song best at the end of the day. But I think everybody, it's all hands on deck, and so far it's been a good response.
Now, I like that you guys have a saxophone. You guys also have trumpets. Like, you know, what is that like? You know, creating that in the studio. When do those come into play when you guys are creating music?
They come from I mean, as soon as they get inspired, you know, or a horn idea comes about. There's no formula. There's no formulaic.
It's always different with every song.
Always different. Each song is different. Each song has a different intention and just the way that we tailor it as well. But as far as like people's parts and stuff, they just sometimes they're already developed, and then they hear them be like, I don't like that, or I do like that, or we try it like this, or people come up with their own ideas. It all varies.
So producer-wise, who did you guys go into the studio to create this record?
We worked with, shout out to Derek. We actually came to LA and worked on this album with a guy named Derek Furman. Shout out to Derek. I think he'll be here tonight. We went with him. He came to the Bay actually at first to do some of the basics and get a lot of the sketches of the song, and then took it to LA, and it became what it became. But it was definitely a more intentional approach as far as like wanting to integrate some like more contemporary, like modern sounds or modern aesthetic, you know, kind of to not really some of the inspirations that I think we all are, like artists that we're all inspired by, but just a sonic palette that I feel like I was working with early on when I was like working at like Reason or producers like Fruity Loops or just like different production chops. We wanted to integrate into our sound a little more, and even our live show. So it'll be.
So what's it like, you know, going into the studio and creating a song like Too Late to Quit? Like, it's such a fun song to listen to like over and over again. So I can imagine like how fun that might be like in the studio creating it. What was that like?
I was working on that song. I started that song years ago. Before we even recorded Paradise, I started that song. but brought it in to the band. We kind of chipped away at it a little bit, then put it down, brought it back in, and we chipped away at it a little bit more. And I always had like the idea like what the chorus was gonna be, but then we brought it and showed the producer, Derek. He was really into it, and we started chipping away at it a little more, and just created this like, I wanted it to feel like just like this, like not necessarily, just like a rally in a way, like a rally for like, hey, it's the second song on, I think it is it? Yeah, I think it's the
second or third, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, kind of like getting back in the saddle. Like we had been touring for like a year and a half, hadn't really recorded in a while, so it was just like, you know, I wanted to imagine coming back to all these new places like LA, like Japan, like Europe, like we back, because we too lit to quit, you know what I'm saying? Like we back with the fire, you back with the fire, let's do it, you know, kind of thing.
So in a sense, is it safe to say that was probably one of the songs that took the longest to create, or was there another one that kind of like challenged you guys?
As far as the like full development of each song, I feel like I've been writing body language since I was 17.
Yeah. That was my other one as well, actually. So.
I feel like I've been working on body language since I was like 17, 18,
Damn.
like back when I was in Texas, and I was like, some of those ideas came through for that song in a full, you know, fully realized way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Too Late to Quit took a little while. Some songs are faster than others. Like Texas Summer was pretty fast. Illuminate wrote in the session. Yeah, each song has a different journey, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like cultivated to serve any listening experience, and also just for the live. I mean, that's where we have the most fun. So, but you know, it's for any time of your day. Cooking, you know, we got songs when you're cooking and when you're in the shower.
It's got something for everything.
Like making love, like at the show, like whatever it is you wanna.
Making love at the show. I mean, shit.
Yes, yes.
So when you have a song like Body Language that you've been writing since you were 17, like what is it about that song in particular that, you know, to you still wanted it to see the light of day? Why did you keep trying to create that song?
I'm not believing in wasting anything. Like I feel like that's like smacking your muse in the face in a way. Like I was gifted this idea and I just wanted to see it through. And it was, you know, some things just take time, you know, like just like relationships, you know, you can't get married on the second day. Gotta wait.
I don't know. Nowadays it's like nowadays it's possible.
No disrespect for those who doing it, but like, you know, some things just like take their time. And as far as like my parts go for it, like that was in a space, but then it took some where I even felt like it could be integrated in our sound. You know, we did some writing sessions, writing retreats as a band, and I just caught when the song Pat was playing on the keys, and it just like struck. I was like, oh man, okay, this is the time. This is the time. Like if you usually have that response to like music, like, oh, do I have something for this, or do I need to create something for this?
Right.
And for that one, for Body Language, it just felt like a great representation of like the window that we were in at the time as far as writing goes, like coming off a tour and like being with our girls or fiancés or wives at the time, and just happy to be, you know, physically connected again. And that it just felt very appropriate. Like Paradise, it could have fit on that. We had love songs on Paradise too, but this song just felt like we were embarking upon new territory as far as like the topics we could touch on or the sounds we could use to augment those topics and concepts and things. So it just felt like it was definitely needed for this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, earlier you mentioned that, you know, Derek flew up to the Bay and, you know, kind of started to work on the music with you guys and then came out to LA to create them. So like when you guys actually hit the studio with him, like how much recreation of the songs, the initial songs, did you guys have to do? Some songs were recreated. Some songs were definitely reimagined in a way. In a way, some Too Late to Quit was in some ways. Like the verse of it was not the verse. It had a different bass line I wrote under it, and it was more like, it was pretty rocking. It was dry. I mean, it still has an energy, but we definitely articulated it in another way that I like at the end of the day. I love, actually. Some songs, Texas Summers, it went from like one version to like a second version, and then we kind of like, don't do that. Then we had like another version, we kind of split the difference. But they all take a different shape once they get
the studio. I'm trying to think. Heart Shaped Box was pretty much Heart Shaped Box. Yeah, it was kind of what it was. Body Language. Oh yeah, even Body Language took a different mold. Like we wrote a new chorus for that. Like Derek was very hands-on and wanted to be involved as far as like finding any places where he thought were holes in the songs where it wasn't really serving the greater good of the song, and kind of like, you know, doing some fine tuning around that, and it served us, I think at the end of the day.
What would you say was the biggest challenge in creating this new record?
The biggest challenge? The biggest challenge in writing this record was writing it while, like Paradise we wrote, like when we weren't as busy, but writing and recording Explore while we're exploring the world. It's like, it seems like, oh yeah, you should be able to do it. But like,
you got so much going on.
Yeah, but just so much, you know, and if you're like, when you're very intentional with what you put out, it's like you need some time to focus. So we actually had to like block off the time, like tell our manager, like, hey, no more shows. We need to work on the album right now. I'd say that was the toughest part, just juggling it. But once you get in there and you like starting to see you making progress, it's just like, okay, you got it. Like, it may be some bumps along the way, but like, you know, at the end of the day, these songs are gonna reach all those fans that we just connected with in Japan, and we just connected with in Europe, and you know, they're gonna be so happy, and everyone else is gonna be happy, and we're gonna be happy, and it just makes, I guess, the process a little more digestible, a lot more digestible.
Right. So this record Explore is out now. You guys are currently on tour right now. You're in LA today. What else is the plan for the remainder of this year? You know, maybe even to kickstart 2019.
More music, more shows.
More music already? Yeah. Damn.
So we just had a meeting about that, like an hour ago, about like working on some new material for next year. Trying to get back to Arroyo Seco where
that'd be great.
Where you saw us, and
definitely have to get there.
Hit the Lollapaloozas, outside land.
Coachella, hopefully. Coachella. You guys got to get these guys in there.
Like, let's get it. We are ready. Just getting ready for all the shows and everything next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I know you got a sound check real soon, but you guys be sure to check out Brio. New album Explore is out now, and thanks again for watching here on Front Row Live.
Spotify,
Hey.
Apple Music, Tidal, you name it, we there.